Power is being renegotiated across diplomacy, war, energy, and markets, quietly, deliberately, and with long-term consequences. In today's brief, a reset in US-China diplomacy, Europe sharpening its demands on Russia, China stepping in as Cuba's energy backstop, and markets reacting to a fragile economic picture. US-China relations. The White House is preparing for a high-stakes diplomatic moment. According to reporting, Donald Trump is expected to travel to China in early April for talks with Xi Jinping. This would mark the first in-person summit between the two leaders in Trump's second term. Why it matters today. This is not just symbolic diplomacy. The meeting comes as tensions remain high over trade restrictions, technology access, Taiwan, and military posturing in the Indo-Pacific. Markets are watching closely because any signal of stabilization could ease pressure on supply chains, capital flows, and global risk sentiment. Any signal of escalation would do the opposite. This visit suggests both sides see value in resetting guardrails, even if rivalry remains structural. Europe raises the bar on Russia. Europe is recalibrating what peace talks actually mean. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas is preparing a list of concessions that Europe believes Russia must make before any Ukraine peace settlement can move forward. Among the demands, the return of abducted Ukrainian children and concrete limits on Russian military positioning. Why it matters today? This signals a tougher, more conditional European stance. Rather than pushing for talks at any cost, the EU is defining moral and strategic red lines, shaping the framework before negotiations even begin. That matters because Europe's posture increasingly determines whether peace discussions reduce risk or simply freeze conflict. China steps. GAINN as Cuba's energy lifeline. China says it is willing to help Cuba manage a worsening jet fuel shortage. Havana has faced severe energy constraints after oil shipments from Venezuela declined, compounded by US sanctions and infrastructure strain. Beijing's offer positions China as an alternative stabilizer. Why it matters today? This is not just about fuel. It highlights how China continues to expand influence in energy-vulnerable states, especially where Western sanctions or disengagement leave gaps. Energy diplomacy is becoming geopolitical leverage. Markets pause as data sends mixed signals. US stocks were mixed overnight. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq dipped as investors digested softer than expected economic data, while the Dow edged higher. Retail sales data showed slowing momentum, reinforcing expectations that growth is cooling, but not collapsing. Why it matters today. Markets are increasingly sensitive to marginal data changes. This is the phase where expectations, not fundamentals, drive volatility, especially ahead of upcoming labor and inflation reports. For investors, this is a wait-and-watch moment. Across diplomacy, war, energy, and markets, the pattern is clear. Power is being renegotiated not loudly, but deliberately. And the outcomes of these quiet shifts will shape the rest of the year.